Welcome to Alien Theorists Theorizing, Case File 133, UFO Encounters number 2.
Number 2. That's Braden.
Those are DAPs.
Zell.
Dabs.
Dan.
Dabs?
Dan.
Oh.
Dabs. We've done it.
This fucking
We've hit
program, man.
it. Nailed it.
Get in there. Get in there. There he is. Andrew.
And Andrew.
Yeah. He's got this like soft aurora glow going on.
It's got that.
You look angelic.
It's got that blur background going.
What are you talking about? It's supposed to be black.
Andrew broadcasting live from his prison cell.
Yeah. It looked worse when you were wearing an orange shirt, but the black one looks better. Good. Slimming too.
It's sure will be coming off in T-minus 3 minutes.
Guys, is it hot in here? Oh, it's so hot in here.
Sorry, what was that? I couldn't hear that. What?
and there it
Prove
is.
me wrong. It was
If
about
you want
25
my
seconds.
body And you think I'm sexy? Come on, baby, let me know. All right, we'll get back on the UFO topic this week after some sad COVID news.
Turn the positivity train around here.
That mention.
I wanna-
We mentioned.
I want to
People
fucking
don't come
apologize
here
for that shit.
for goddamn doom and gloom. They come here to hear about aliens and reptilians taking over the planet. God
Hey, I just got off
damn
work.
it.
I was
Yeah.
submerged in it, so
Oh no, no
if you couldn't tell it already.
one's saying anything.
Update: if you're listening to these in chronological order, the virus has gotten worse, and the situation around it has gotten worse since our last doom and gloom podcast, and it's gotten worse. And cool.
And it seems to be getting worse steadily on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Not
No,
like
let's not dwell. I
Yeah.
can't dwell on this too much. It's
You know
all
what?
I hear about all day.
we're going to keep on keeping on through the doom and gloom, keep on podcasting.
We're gonna keep talking about weird shit.
Weird shit. Drinking beers.
And because the weird shit is worth talking about.
Let's talk about some great weird north, as coined by Dan.
Great, great weird north.
Yeah, I said from the great white north becomes the great weird north. Talk about some UFO encounters.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Giant, northern neighbor of the United States, Canada.
All right, let's throw it over to
Yeah.
our resident Canadian expert, Dan.
Thank you.
Canadian
keep
expert
talking
Dan. What are we talking about tonight?
Talking about a couple of UFO cases that took place in Canada this one. Our first one that I found interesting was a case from Montreal in November of 1990. And
Fucking
this was a
Memphis.
case. I don't know if Zell can put up the photo, but we actually have photographic evidence of this one.
Okay, I'm going to put it up here, but I don't know if this is the right one because it looks really bad.
If it's a picture of a UFO, it's a bad one, and you know it. That one.
So-
that is an official photo
So
someone took of this UFO.
I'll describe it if you're not watching the video. It's looking through like really foggy glass with like a light behind it, kind of giving like a lens flare, and that's about it.
You're 100%
I mean,
correct,
like,
sir.
If I saw that in the sky, that'd be pretty fucking freaky, though.
Yeah,
Especially
could
at
be.
7 p.m. at night.
Yeah, like
Let me
that's
tell
not a
you
normal
something, though.
thing. That's not a normal thing to see in the sky.
If you
No.
see that in the sky and you're like, that troubles you enough that you go, maybe I should call someone to notify them. Who's top of that list? Who's first call you're making?
The lifeguard of the pool that I'm swimming in.
Or the bellboy at the hotel?
Bellboy. Yeah. Well, because that's what happened. Right?
What's going on up there? I better, who can help me in this situation?
Right. The first person to spot this UFO was a woman swimming on the 17th floor of the Place Bonaventure, or Place Bonaventure, from the Montreal hotel. And she said she described it as a round metallic object that projected a series of brilliant light beams, so all around.
So then she told the lifeguard. Is that right?
She told
and
the
that's
lifeguard.
because I mean that's who you're gonna tell. That's
And
your...
then the lifeguard called the concierge, and like, you know what I mean? I just curious, out of curiosity, you know, like I wasn't there, but this is kind of how I figured, you know, the conversation went. Hello, Albert. It is Lean from the pool. Tabernacle, you see the thing in the sky there. It is Days Bonanza.
We.
Tabernacle une calculatrice. Bicyclette, stylo.
Yeah, this is how you say Rashid.
This is very crazy. Never seen the lights like this before.
Your French accent has thrown me off so much. I thought you practiced that.
Tabernacle, I don't know how they speak.
Yeah.
How's that? Is that better?
I think with the crossover from Dan's excellent one, and then you going,
I would hardly qualify my French accent as a...
I mean,
no, it's spot on.
I mean, I could just grab a fucking dollop of peanut butter and put it on the roof of my mouth, and it would probably sound quite accurate.
You're gonna get beat up by a bunch of Montrealans.
I'm not worried about it.
Ooh,
They can't-
it's
hey,
out there.
They couldn't get here if they tried. Oh shit! Too early.
You know, a bunch of angry Frenchmen over there. Angry Canadian Frenchmen.
French Canadian.
French Canadian.
French Canadians.
Now we love them.
But it always blew me away that like the first person that gets called is like the hotel lobby is like one of the first to notify, and they're like
what the fuck do you want us to do about it?
Yeah, what the fuck do you want me to do about it? Lady, get out of the pool.
They don't pay me.
You're not supposed to
enough
drink up
deal with
there,
the
like-
alien invasion. Like, what the fuck?
No, man, you gotta call
Someone
the
who
fucking
cares.
Mounties.
There was someone they should have called that they didn't. And that was Ron Pond.
Ron Pond was probably retired off duty now, though.
90.
They'd probably got some inner city French detectives smoking darts, wearing some
Oh yeah,
what are
that
those
would be
long
it.
jackets.
Prime 1990s, like edgy 1990s, wearing like big black sunglasses and the leather
Yeah.
jackets, like in loose
They're like
cannon,
stomping cigarettes outside,
tight
rubbing them
blue
out.
jeans.
Yeah,
And fucking yeah. Okay, I got you. Fucking Roddy Piper, fucking mullets cooking
Yeah.
out there. Yeah, gotcha.
tight blue jeans, but they're wearing those like long beige overcoats, those trench coats, but with blue jeans, tucked in white shirts.
Couple
Hey,
loose
madame,
cannons.
you say,
Yeah, a couple
yeah,
Fruit of the
yeah,
Loom
fool.
shirts on. Looking like a couple Freddie Mercury.
Excusez-moi, ouais, juste un myself in my tête jeans.
What are we describing here?
The
This is
French
the
police.
interaction between this is the Montreal police.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
Standard uniform.
Let us know if that was
tight
accurate.
jeans with the jackets.
Yeah.
1990s. So one of the things they spoke about this case was that it was a kind of like a series of telephone going from the lifeguard to the concierge to the actual hotel security guard who calls the police, and then a journalist from La Presse newspaper, then to the RCMP, the military, and even NASA were called in trying to figure out what this thing was.
Fucking NASA.
What I
Nice.
love about that is it goes way up the chain. So someone was like, "What are we gonna do? Call them." And they're like, "What are we gonna do? Call them." And it got all the way up to the top, and then someone's like, "Oh, that is weird." And then it went back down, and everyone's like, "Oh, is this serious? Like, we should go take a peek."
So another weird thing is about this.
Or
this
sorry,
aerial-
Le Peak.
La
La
Peak.
Peak.
La
Peak.
Let's have the La Peak.
Le Peak. So one of the other fun things about this, fun facts, was that this aerial phenomenon lasted for almost 3 hours. So from 7:20 to 10:10 p.m. on that night, people reported seeing something of this. And it wasn't just this lady. So other people saw in that area, I think it was at least like 3. You would think there would be more people, but it's 3 or 4 actually reported seeing kind of something.
There was a tower under construction across the street, and at one point they had like cranes set up on top, and there was lights, work lights and stuff. So one time, the RCMP, thinking that like maybe this is some sort of light hanging or something weird going on with there, got other members to go across the construction site and had them turn off the exterior lights, and it was still glowing. Like it was still, so they like canceled that out. So it's like, it's not like they just all watched. Like people were actively there trying to disprove it and couldn't, and were still baffled by it. That's what I love about this case.
This one also got really weird. So Dr. Richard Haynes, who in 1992, he was a former NASA scientist, actually published a 25-page report on the sighting. And 25 pages isn't that much. I'm going to tell you right now. I've written 25 pages.
For a
It's not that
report,
much.
yeah.
Double
So
space.
have I.
Probably
Size
double
14,
space.
double space.
Yeah.
You give a couple extra space bars between some of those spaces.
You gotta count it.
Yep.
You gotta count in your appendices and your fucking works cited page. Like that's all in there. Yeah, 25 pages.
You have really big titles, so like size like 90 titles, so you lose
yeah,
about
the
5 lines at the
abstract takes
top.
up like a whole page. Like yeah.
Oh,
it's-
buddy. And then at the back end, you add like 100 jumble words that you just white out to make you hit the word count. Like, it's
Perfect.
Not that much.
easy.
But in his report, he did conclude that there is a lot of evidence for the existence of a highly unusual, hovering, silent, large object, and indisputable. He says silent, large object, but there was at least one person who reported that when he there was one witness who drove, who was leaving his business building at the time of the sighting, and he said that he observed the object hovering, actually moved, and like it was hovering over a power station at the time, and he reported that he could actually hear the craft. Like he heard some sound hovering, coming from the craft, and he said it was like a purring sound. Now that could have actually been the sound of the power station itself, but this Dr. Richard Haynes guy, like I'm pretty sure he also said that there was a evidence of like a power outage, like while that craft or whatever it was, that aerial phenomenon was hovering over that power station, that there was actually a recorded power outage.
So that whole
Which is something-
that grid went down, that part of it.
Yeah, something like that. And I mean, that's kind of something that you do hear about in UFOs. Like you do hear when UFOs are sighted, or certain close encounters of UFOs, they interfere with electrical equipment, whether it's in large ways like this way, like taking down like a power outage in a certain area, or in more localized areas like a car. Right. People have reported, like, when you get some kind of, people have reported missing time or something driving down the highway, like their cars started acting up, and then they spotted a UFO, like their car stopped.
It's like a temporal field that these things create in a lot of the stories.
Right. Something like it could have been some sort of electromagnetic interference or something like that. But, he's not really sure. He said that he heard an actual sound. So this guy says silent large object, not 100% sure that silent is all what it is.
And
like
when we talk about large, like when they were describing how big this thing was, it's like fucking 5 football fields big.
it's huge.
Huge.
Like fucking, like we're
Mothership.
talking like Independence Day shit.
Yep.
That was Independence Day was way more than 5 football fields.
Well, I don't know.
Well, yeah, that was like the fucking small moon, but
Big.
it was huge.
There
Okay,
is-
so not quite Death Star big, but pretty close.
That's not a moon. That's no moon.
That's no moon.
there was Zell. I sent in the Facebook group a link to the clip. I don't know if while I'm talking about it, you can pull it up. It's probably at about the 7-minute mark. But there's a great CBC video that talks about this case, and it interviews like all the people that were there. And at the end, it has this scientist who's like talking about why it's not a UFO. And he's saying, this is what they saw. And he's pointing to a piece of paper where he's drawn like a picture of an aurora. And he's looking and he goes, yeah, this is what they saw. And he turns to the camera and both his eyes are looking different ways. And I'm like, what the fuck is this guy telling people what they saw? He can't fucking see straight, man. I was like, how
Fucking
the hell
crazy eyes.
do they? Yeah, I was like, there was no one else in this laboratory for you to get on camera than this guy. and they were like, and I'm not making fun, but they were wildly apart. And he's got thick glasses into the 90s, like 90s style. And I was like, this is a guy debunking? Like, come on, CBC. You could have got anyone else there. I knew why they put that guy on camera. It's because he was looking two separate ways.
Are you talking about the guy, the astronomer guy? Are you talking about the fucking Northern Lights guy? Yeah.
Are you talking?
The Northern Lights guy who says he's like, it looks like this. And he points to this little circle with some...
Is he? He's got glasses, like aviator glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not aviator glasses. The guy, he works for. I'm not sure, but he's like an amateur astronomer.
Yeah, it's in like 6-7 minutes. I don't know where I watched, but I remember watching it.
It's just the angle of his glasses, dude. The angle of those big fucking Coke bottle glasses make his.
Those are huge glasses.
No, that guy actually eats. That guy eats flies. He eats frog. That is frog.
Oh, a little comedy in dark times. This is funny.
I mean, yeah. If you look up that video clip, that he goes on to explain or try to explain the that this aerial phenomenon was an appearance of the aurora borealis or northern lights, some sort of natural phenomenon that he's like, this is actually one of the common manifestations of the northern lights, is like you can have these small little balls of light that just appear. I've never seen that. Like,
I've seen tons of northern lights, but it's like it doesn't last. It doesn't just hover. So him to say like this is what they saw. I've seen tons of northern lights. I was in a hotbed for them, and I never saw. I've seen the balls he's talking about, but I've never seen one where it's like, oh yeah, it's just sitting there for hours.
Yeah, like so this lasted for what, 3 hours?
Yeah.
Wild.
So he's sitting there saying that, yeah, oh, you just had a perfect northern light ball.
I mean, so this is in Montreal, right? Large city.
Yep.
Got to have a lot of pollution. Could there possibly have been some type of light reflecting off of some smog potentially?
Some swamp gas.
Swamp
or
gas?
Something?
You saying?
What are you saying?
Yeah.
Weather balloon reacting with some swamp gas. Combination.
Light reflecting off a weather balloon through some swamp gas.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Perfect.
That happens, right?
I don't know. The summary of that report was evidence for the existence of a highly unusual hovering silent large object is indisputable.
Also, the big question is, why would aliens want to visit Montreal?
Poutine.
It's legendary galaxy wide.
And Montreal smoked meat.
Montreal smoked.
Now it's a thing.
A couple of those showed Chiennes.
Isn't Chien dog?
Hot dogs.
Definitely not to watch the Habs play, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, not recently, no. Bam. He's made more enemies, Andrew.
Yeah.
We made more.
I'm good at that.
You're gonna have to fight all
Yeah,
of
we're
Montreal.
good against 1-star reviews because of you.
No, hey, listen, even
French.
5-star, we'll get a 5-star review, and then in the 5-star review, it'll be like, yeah, everybody's great and stuff like that. But then there's Andrew, he's a fucking bro. Cool, thanks.
True.
Well, you keep taking off your shirt.
You told me. You egged me on. What am I supposed to do?
tell you to take your shirt off.
You fucking egged me on.
I just said that's what's going to happen, and you actually just beat me by my prediction by 3 minutes.
I didn't even think of it. You planted the seed, man. Created a monster.
I incepted you. That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
All right.
Put it in his head. What else do we have? Like that, I really enjoyed like watching some of the documentaries on this and them talking to like, you can watch the one on CBC. It's 9 minutes long, quick peruse, really interesting. And it talks to the people that were there and they're just like, we don't know what it is. We tried to do different things to discount it. And like, it was just a weird, and you can just see it in their faces and their voices when they're describing it. It's interesting. Well, I don't understand because it's French. So in the subtitles, yeah, that guy. Let me leave that on the screen.
Yeah.
That's what this guy sounds like in the documentary. Well, they're probably just seeing auroras. The ball aurora is the most popular one.
Is that him eating a fly? Or
Yeah.
what? But like, so for me anyways, like this one's pretty interesting because it's got like the amount of fucking witnesses. You know what I mean? Like most of the time it's fucking you know, Billy Bob and Billy Joel out there on the fucking farm. Nobody else is out there. It's these two pricks that, you know what I mean, are trying to sell books now.
And
You know what I mean? Like,
the fact that you have RCMP witnesses, and I'm not saying that like I give them more credit, but like watching the interviews with them, and they're just like, they're in uniform and stuff. Like they ask them right away and stuff, and they're just like, yeah, that was the weirdest thing I ever seen. Like,
it's fucking bizarre, eh?
yeah. Oh, it's fucking astonishing.
Yes, magnifique.
Magnificent.
Said we love this.
Yeah. Quattro.
It is how you say flabbergasting.
Yeah.
Tabernacle. That's all.
For you American swine, you English swine, it was good.
I like it. I like that the NASA report, the guy from NASA said that at the end as his summary. Why not?
Yeah, it's. I mean, you can't really disprove it because I mean, nobody really had any reports. There were any reports of kind of aircraft just like hovering over there for 3 hours. I don't know what aircraft would have it besides like a blimp would hover there. I don't even know why a blimp would hover somewhere except for 3 hours, even over even a major sporting event. Even if it were a major sporting event, there wouldn't be a blimp there for 3 hours. That'd be nuts.
Long time.
Like you would see it in the fucking day.
Yeah, I'm like, there's no way. No, absolutely not.
The fucking Goodyear blimp is up there.
You guys don't even have a Goodyear blimp, right?
No, so it'd be Le Fountain Tire.
The
Tire Le Fountain or whatever.
Moving on from that way. We're gonna jump back.
In a blimp.
I think we're gonna jump back a couple years, and we're gonna go back to talk about the. Braden brought this one up earlier about the Hannah McRoberts photo case.
Oh yeah, one of the most famous UFO pictures out there.
Listen,
right.
I am gonna get her on the podcast. I'm this close.
Super close.
Well, I thought you were just trying to squish Dan's head there.
Like, do you have her phone number?
I'm squishing your head. I'm squishing your head.
I work with someone who's her friend.
And if we could get her on the podcast, that'd be rad.
Sounds like bullshit.
Wait,
Sounds
are you
bullshit.
being real here? Is this real
For
shit?
real, dude.
Bullshit.
We
That's
had
bullshit.
a secret Santa at work. And my secret Santa, I'll go get the mug in a second.
I believe you. I'll believe you.
A Secret Santa gave me this mug with a picture of the Hannah McRoberts photo on it and like a note stuffed in. So then I opened the note and it's like, oh, my friend actually took this picture years ago and it was really weird. And I know you're like aliens, so I got it put on a mug for you.
That's dope.
And I was like, oh shit. Do you have a? Well, I'll get to picture 6. But this person. So then I had to go around to everyone and be like around the water cooler, like chilling out, like throwing my elbow up, like. So you got me for Secret Santa, hey? Give me that alien mug. And then people are like, what? Huh? No. Just about everyone in the office until the last person was like, yeah, I got you the mug. And I was like, do you know this lady? They're like, yeah, she's my friend. I'm like, will you ask her if we could interview her? They're like, yeah, for sure. And then they've been off with surgery ever since.
Going for the long sell, hey? That's a pretty elaborate story.
Off with surgery.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Secret.
Pretty elaborate story.
Hey,
go get the fucking mug. Go get the mug.
Okay.
Come on.
Braden is part of the.
He's getting the mug. He's getting the mug. He has to.
All I'm trying to do, hey, I'm just trying to inspire the guy to do some fucking cardio. That's all that was.
Lockdown's
You watch,
tough.
he's gonna get back. He's gonna be sweating.
Lockdown's tough.
After surgery, silenced.
He's gonna come back sweating and out of breath.
Fucking kidnapped by the government. Off by surgery.
It's coming back. It's coming back.
He's back. Here he is.
It's coming back. Oh,
And then,
he's got headphones in. He's got.
Sorry, what I miss?
Can't
I know
find
you-
the mug.
Why are you sweating, man? You look like you're out of breath.
No, I'm good.
Can't-
You
face
look like
looks
that was
red.
a little bit more cardio than you're used to.
Face looks a little red.
Huh? Well, it's because I've been drinking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there.
you don't have the mug, do you?
Where's the mug?
Yeah, he does. He's gonna slowly raise it up.
Here, you
Yeah.
got it.
Oh,
gonna
he knows
slowly
me
raise
too
it up.
well. He knows me too well.
Wait, turn it around. Other way. Other way. A little more.
All the way.
Stop.
You can't
Wait.
even-
Stop.
Eh,
There it is.
No.
Yeah.
Wait.
Ah, there it is.
There it is.
So that's the famous
I mean,
picture.
you got a better copy of the picture? It looks like a fucking bird.
Well, that's the famous picture from 1981 of a flying saucer in Campbell
taken
River,
by
British
Miss Hannah
Columbia.
McRoberts, 25 at the time, in Campbell River, British Columbia.
Some would say not too far from Braden.
Oh, in the same fucking town as me. Does my story start lining up for you now, asshole?
Oh, bullshit, man.
They took the actual photo. So if you look it up, the Hannah McRoberts photo, like you'll see it, and usually it's like the zoomed in version. They'll zoom in on this little what seems to be very similar to what you would describe as like the archetypal flying saucer.
Zell, can you pull up the more zoomed in picture?
Yep.
When you look at it, you're like, yeah, that's a flying. You're like, that's a flying saucer, or you're like, that's what a flying saucer would look like.
Dude, that's undisputable. Look at that fucking thing.
Buddy, it's a fucking discus.
Okay, now if you're watching the live stream, I'm on metabunk.com only because this is the best place I could find the picture.
Well, it's like because you can find the full picture. A lot of times you'll find the zoomed in picture, like not the actual photo. You'll find the zoomed in picture of the actual the object that was in the photo. Hannah McRoberts and her family, like they didn't actually notice the object until after they got the photos developed. They actually took a picture of like a mountain, like they saw a mountain with a cloud formation over the top that made it similar looking to a volcano. So they're like, oh, hey, that looks cool. Let's take a picture of that. Yeah. And then when they went back to look at it later, after going through like the negatives and things like that, they're like, what the fuck is that?
That's the first thing I thought when I heard about the story so long ago. I was like, you never seen anything until you took a one frame picture?
Well, I don't know how long. They don't describe how long the thing had actually been there. So you don't actually know how fast the thing was going.
Yeah, my guess is they caught it in flight.
And that would have been one frame of like was that a still picture? Or is that a frame from a video?
No, it's a still picture.
1981. It was taken on like a 35. That's like a 35 millimeter camera. Like it.
Yeah. Oh, if I could get in contact with her and be like, "Can I get an original just so I can print a poster for my office?" That'd be dope.
So the picture itself came to attention of one Mr. David A.C. Powell, who lives in Vancouver, and he was a staff of the Macmillan Planetarium in that city. So he took a look at it. He kind of deemed it as legit. He's like, I don't know what that is, and I'm not sure. And even after many examinations after that, the negative actually got delivered to Mr. Richard F. Haynes, who is the editor of the Journal of Scientific Exploration for Analysis. And he said, and he determined that they had unwittingly, if anything, had caught a photo of something that was an airborne object.
Yeah, he deemed it not like a photograph like anomaly. It was actually he deemed it that was actual physical object. He couldn't tell exactly what size or what it was, but he knew it was actual, like it was a real object.
It wasn't a result as some sort of like mechanism of the camera or some sort of optical illusion. It was an actual object that was present at the time of the photo.
Zell, can you pull up a picture of that lizard man again with the glasses? Or did you close that window?
Frogman.
Frogman?
No, I got it still.
Yeah, throw it up on there.
Why?
You know what he'd say? You know what he'd say to this if he was there studying this case?
Yeah,
throw it up on there. Oh, well.
One more time?
That's what he'd say. Oh, well. Oh, dude, that guy's the worst. But it's such a
you don't even know.
He doesn't know
him. The worst.
You don't even know that guy.
Doesn't the fuck he is?
He's probably a really nice person.
Probably super nice. He's probably really smart, super nice.
You know what he'd say? You know what I bet he's saying on the back channel news about the COVID-19? Throw him up, Zell.
I know. He's like, coming back.
It's just the wowas.
Oh my god. He's probably a super nice dude. And
Yeah, man, what are you talking about? That guy could probably jump really high.
Jump.
What?
We've all been locked up for too long.
Oh, god damn it. Guy's a
Um,
nice guy, and he gets.
How do we bring it back to that case? Where were we?
He had a notebook full of auroras. Like,
yeah,
guy
that he
obviously
drew,
likes auroras.
that he hand drew, and one of them looked like the coronavirus. I'm just saying. Watch the clip.
Oh shit!
Watch the clip. He drew it. No, the Hannah McRoberts one is awesome. I love it. I love that it's so close to here. It's weird because I try to look up. There's another town north of here, Port McNeill, and I believe I've said it before, but they had some UFO sightings off there, and they've actually built a UFO landing pad.
Right.
It's in that stupid book that I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The-
Did we
Right?
talk about? We talked about. it
Yeah.
on one-
Yeah.
So I've been there. I've been to Port McNeill. I have to go through all the time, and I've asked, like, I've gone to people like, "Hey, where are the UFO landing pads? I want to go," and they're like, "What? Huh? What are you talking about?" And I'm like, "I read in a book the mayor made some UFO landing pads." They're like, "Not here." And then I'm like, "Is there another fucking Port McNeill somewhere that I don't know about?" But
No one wants to admit it.
Well, I found one thing kind of weird about the Hannah McRoberts photo is like through some of the analysis that it went through, they were saying that it is definitely some sort of three-dimensional object, but they said that the distance that it is from the camera when they took the picture, they said was 30 feet.
no, they
It
didn't say
could-
that. They
could
said
have been.
whatever it is at least 30 feet.
No,
Meaning,
this
like,
is
so
at
if
least
it's a
30 feet
smaller-
from the camera.
Yeah, but that's not saying that. That's just saying like we've analyzed it, and whatever it is, size ratio, it would be at least 30. But it still could be 100 feet from the camera, 1,000 feet. They're not discrediting it. They're just saying like based on our analysis, it has to be at least 30 feet away, even if it's like someone throwing a fucking frisbee.
which is
No, it was a discus.
one. Yeah, was one of the theories to debunk it was it was a frisbee, or a pan lid.
Hubcap. Somebody's really
Hubcap.
mad at their car.
Listen, Hannah McRoberts was also a Canadian Olympic discus champion. Okay,
Why?
so
That is not true. That's 100% not true.
Where
Jen, everyone knows it, and she was attacked by in the Great Canadian Olympic tragedy, where she was attacked with a crowbar outside of Tim Hortons before the event by her arch rival and
That is
his
also
this
not
is a
true.
boyfriend.
true story.
hit her right in the elbow, eh?
right in the throwing elbow, took her out of the competition.
So, yeah, no way she could have been throwing discus
Yeah,
at this
Yeah,
time.
she's supposed to be throwing discus there in Calgary, eh?
Can't
she
be
never
throwing.
made
You
it.
can't be throwing discus with a hurt funny bone there.
yeah.
Unless she got a
Not
bum
today,
elbow.
anyway.
So that's how you know she wasn't. This
No,
wasn't.
you wanna
I'm
know
not
that's what
even
you know?
100% sure that you couldn't throw
No,
a discus with the bum
that's-
elbow. Like you only need like your whole arm, right? You only need like shoulder
No.
and
Dan, I'm really
Oh,
disappointed for a so-called Canadian expert here. You're really missing all the
Yeah.
fucking details, buddy.
no. I think you guys just don't know
That's a
enough
s-
about
that's a swing and a
Canadian
miss
discus
there, Denny.
throwers.
Well, yeah, I'm telling you, I know Hannah McRoberts because she's a household name.
Olympic champion.
Yeah, she
Had-
was on.
Retired early. Bummed
Yeah.
It's
elbow.
on the
Kellogg's.
Canadian Wheaties box.
Yeah,
Flutie Flakes.
yeah.
Fuck!
Captain
I really
Crunch.
wish I had I really wish I had bought a box of Flutie Flakes when those things were around.
I have a Flutie Flakes t-shirt from the fucking cereal box.
Now,
I'll wear it next case file for about 5 minutes.
and then take it off.
there is another theory that they may have caught on camera, which is a Canadian military plane called the Avro car.
The Avocar, yeah,
Avro car.
No car.
yeah.
Now this was like a Canadian project to make a flying saucer or some shit. It's the dumbest looking ship you ever seen.
I'm gonna put it up. I don't know if we're gonna put it up here. This is
Yeah,
a
that's it, there.
prototype of it. It's a
Yeah.
fucking flying saucer,
Fucking
Yeah.
looks exactly the same.
but it
So, now
barely
Looks like a
flies.
discus.
It barely flies though.
This project was scrapped in 1956, allegedly. Now, some people that believe this might be the Avrocar is saying that maybe the development continued on. And what you're seeing that she caught in the picture is like it now, what it can do now in 1981.
So
20 years or whatever after.
it went
Well,
went
I
black.
don't know, man.
And ask me why that would make sense on Vancouver Island.
Why would
Ask
that
me.
make sense? Why would you have this Avrocar flying around
Well-
at Campbell River?
We also have the fucking military airport in Courtney Comox.
Oh, West Coast.
Yeah, but you know what? We also have a military budget of about $12, so I don't know if we can afford to be doing anything like
That
that.
Avro car looks like a piece of shit.
It looked like it costs about $10.50.
I would be very hesitant to ride in
Dude,
that Avro car.
I'm pretty sure
You
the
know
Avrocar
what
didn't
Lizard Man would say if he saw that,
get Lizard Man. What?
or the Aurora guy.
What?
Roger?
Pull him up.
Yeah, like Braden before the
Ugh.
show was like, he's like, oh, it's the Avro,
Ugh.
like
That's
the Avro. Like when you said the Avro Canada, you're like, okay, we're talking about this.
Not
case
the
file.
Avro Arrow. That was our fucking
That's our-
awesome.
Yeah,
jet
which
that
is a
we sunk.
fucking cool ass jet. I was like, oh, that's fucking cool. I was like, because the UK, the United Kingdom also has like the Avro Vulcan, which I think they still use. I don't think they've actually retired it. Which is a flying wing. They're like flying wing type crafts, and those are dope. And I was like, well, it probably couldn't have been one of those because they're flying wings. They look like stealth bombers. It's not fucking things. And then you're like Avro car, and I'm like, oh, you mean that little fucking thing with the twirly engine in the middle and the flying donut? Like,
Yeah. As far as the test
Those
went,
things-
I don't think it ever got more than like 20 feet off the ground.
yeah, there's no way. There's
Yeah, but
absolutely
what
no
if
way you
they
can fucking
had
take off
some
the-
eccentric Canadian millionaire, who self-funded this? He was inspired, and he kept the project going, self-funded by Wayne Gretzky himself,
Oh
God
my God.
damn.
The great one.
the great one. Just saying,
Fucking
he wasn't.
Yeah.
He's too young. He only started hockey.
He started hockey
He
in
wouldn't-
'79. Pro
Yeah,
hockey.
so he wouldn't have been making that kind of money. It would have had to been an older Canadian. Maybe Tim Horton himself.
Tim Horton himself.
Tim
Right.
Horton was dead by then, I think, wasn't he?
Yeah, but his legacy lives on today
I don't know.
of the
No,
Avro
dude, the
car.
Avro-
It's definitely Wayne.
get
It was
off the-
definitely
how
Wayne.
high- what is like the maximum altitude of the Avro car? Like
Wayne was
20
just doing flybys, fucking yelling, "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take."
There's like no way. It's
No,
like,
that thing
oh
barely
my
flew, man.
God.
It was a fucking like a toy car.
There's no. I don't
Listen.
even think it ever got that high off the ground.
56. What we're seeing is from 56. What I'm saying is they kept the project going for 25 years. You don't think they made any improvements from that 19?
Dude, so what you're saying,
Yeah, I
what-
don't know. And rollout. Well, its projected performance was like something like a maximum speed of 417 kilometers per hour.
Listen,
and
what I'm saying
10,000
is we got a
feet
black
was
budget,
supposed to be
eh?
the ceiling.
it flew 10,000 feet?
That was the projected performance. It's not.
And-
it wasn't. That wasn't a
And they
definite.
projected
Oh
that
my God.
in 1956. So I'm
My-
telling you, 25 years later.
My whole outlook on this has changed. Avrocar.
projected. If they had to build it, it was supposed to have like a 10,000 feet ceiling.
What Braden's stumbled upon here is that Canadians are responsible for all UFOs worldwide since.
Could you imagine that we're just such a smart, intelligent?
Since
We're like, yeah, we have no
1958.
military or any military budget, eh? But we just got the biggest black military budget, and we've made these flying saucers that we spy on other people with, and people just think they're
Oh.
UFOs.
Yeah,
got-
just go around telling them, "Hey, sorry, like we're no big deal here, guys. Sorry."
We have the secret space program, not the United States.
yeah.
Yeah.
Damn straight.
But
I mean,
we're just so nice about it.
don't
We don't
know.
tell
Hey.
anyone. Let's do our own thing.
Hey, you like them apples, Dan?
it's only got a 130-mile range, which is trash.
That was
Yeah,
they
56.
want you to know.
56.
Man, in 56, they've continued. How far did the car drive in 56? All right, we've made leaps
car?
and bounds in all
Like,
sorts of
Any
travel.
car-
Yeah, 56. You fill up your tank of gas, you'll get as far as you can. Like
I mean,
56 Chevy, man. This is fucking beaut.
Yeah, what's a mile range on that? I'm saying we've made improvements in everything,
Is
in,
what-
in flying especially.
So what you're saying here is we had the Avrocar in 56 went black, black budget. They kept developing it and turned it into a UFO, which has been caught on film, but no one will believe it because they're like, no way Canada had something that advanced. Meanwhile, we've actually been this advanced. We're the most advanced country in the world. That's what I come up with.
Here's the other thing. The Avro Arrow was at the time the best jet in the world.
It's true.
And we destroyed the plans and we sunk the Avro. And I'm like, I think we sunk it because we were on to this next thing. And we're like, listen, forget the Arrow, the Avro car. Put everything we knew about we had an Avro Arrow. Let's put it in the Avro car. That's the ticket, baby.
Well,
That's
not only like you guys are missing fucking the best thing we ever did. You know what I mean? If we're capable of fucking Weapon X, we're capable of making a fucking spaceship.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look how fucking badass the Avro Arrow was. And then we were like, it's too good. We're going to get rid of it. Look how badass that plane is.
Well, it is a cool plane.
53.
Really
At
cool.
the time,
53.
it was the best
the UK
by leaps
made
and
it
bounds,
first, but
and
whatever.
we sunk the plans. We
Sunk 'em.
sunk the only one into fucking one of the Great Lakes.
In the Hudson.
And it melted instantly.
What?
But that's what I think Hannah McRoberts caught on camera.
The Avro car? 30
It was
years
an
later.
Avrocar.
30 years later.
Flying.
25.
I think they would have. I don't know. I think you would have noticed an Avrocar. Fucking. I don't know. Maybe not. I mean, that's what it looks
Dan,
like. It,
Listen, in your mind, you got to clear your brain because I know what you're thinking. You're thinking 1956 Avro car, fucking putting and blowing smoke in the air. 25 years later, Dan, they've streamlined that shit. It goes now, baby. It flies.
very possible. Plausible.
Plausible.
Not impossible.
I'm
go
just
with-
saying
Plausible.
we must have had some of the best like jet engineers and builders in the world to make the Avro Arrow.
Did Canada
And
take any? Did Canada?
We scrapped.
Sorry. Continue.
Oh, you were gonna say, did we take in any Germans from Project Paperclip?
Read my mind.
Operation Paperclip.
Operation. Were we part of that deal? Did someone come up here, or was that just States and Russia?
Guarantee you, the U.S. said "fuck you." Like all the German
Hey,
scientists.
that was Canada's own, man. We got some Austrians. Project Stapler.
Yeah, we'll have our own project. Oh, fucking Dan got disconnected.
Dan's gone.
Oh no,
Probably
Dan
COVID.
got booted. COVID got to him.
COVID got his computer.
Well, the Canadian government shut him down.
Nope. Right.
He's back.
Hacked him.
He's small Dan.
What
now.
else we got? So that's all I had for the Hannah McRoberts. I'm telling you, I'm gonna try my darndest, to get her on.
Hey, buddy, you try your darndest there, and you let us know
Even
how
if
it
I
goes.
can just get an audio, like she doesn't want to do video. She's like, it's just too audio. I'll tell the story, what happened, and like the process of getting the film developed and what happened after.
Oh, you get her on just a recording. Even that'd be cool. 81. So how old is she now? She's probably what, like 60 or something.
Listen. The guy just sold us on a
25.
Guy just sold us on an audio, a fucking audio interview here. It's just gonna be Braden talking in a higher pitched voice to himself. All bullshit.
Oh, hey there. Oh, hey, I'm Hannah McRoberts.
I'm Olympic champion Hannah McRoberts.
I'm Olympic discuser.
It's got female bubbles.
Yeah, Olympic discuser Hannah McRoberts, and I took the famous UFO photo. Well, nice to see you, Hannah. I'm Braden. Well, nice to meet you, Braden. I'm Hannah McRoberts, the Olympic discuser.
Injured my elbow. Injured my elbow. And a terrible injury.
That's how she says it. It's weird. I know. But I'm not going to correct an Olympian.
So our last on the list of our UFO encounters this day is we're going to talk about the Harbor Mill incident, or as Zell refers to it, the Harbor Millie incident.
Harbor Mealy. It's right next to Shag Harbor.
Is it?
It's close to Shag Harbor.
Like
Right
how
about
close?
down there, yeah.
It's really close to
I
Shag
figured
Harbor
it.
down there.
I mean, I could get on my bombardier there and fucking just take a quick little cruise, eh?
I don't know. It's Nova Scotia. It can't be that far from Shag Harbor.
Yeah, how big is Nova Scotia? I bet Nova Scotia is pretty fucking big, though.
I think Nova
Very
Scotia is like the
fucking
same
big,
as the
but I
island.
tell you that much, eh?
It's the same as Vancouver Island, I think, or more.
They
or
all
less.
talk like fucking Brad Pitt from Snatch.
Yeah, they're a little bit Irish, but a little bit Canadian at the same time.
Yeah, the fight part. You like
You
caramels
like
there?
You like Dakes? Like
Thanks.
It's weird because it's true.
Yes, true.
Like sometimes I've met Newfies where I'm like, and Nova Scotians where I'm like, I don't even know what language you're talking, man.
The fuck are you talking about?
So on the night of January 25th, 2010, so rather recently, there were spotted at least 3 unidentified flying objects that flew over Harbor Mill. At least one witness, one Darlene Stewart, said that she spotted an object and she, while she was taking pictures of the sunset, and also within her community of 200 residents, said that they all saw something and they started.
Yeah, it was fucking crazy too because right after, the fucking local Hojo was just blown up with phone calls, right? Asking reception what the fuck these lights are.
The fuck's a Hojo?
Yeah, what is
The Howard Johnsons.
Oh,
You guys never seen it at Howard Johnson, the Hojo?
the Hojo.
Continental breakfast, bitch.
Yeah. It's like the staple of every small Canadian community's got a Hojo. They were all asking the bellhop, can you do anything to help, eh? You see the lights out there?
Tell him to turn it off, eh? I'm trying to sleep.
Yeah.
So there's actually, I mean, if you look it up, I don't know if Zell can pull it up right now, but we have a couple photos that the people took, and it looks like what they described as a long round object, and they said it resembled something of a missile, and they said it had been rising from the direction of the ocean, and there was something, whether it was smoke or flames, that seemed to be shooting out the back end of the object. Right? I think Zell's putting it up here for whoever's on the stream.
Oh,
Looks
you
like
didn't-
the
you-
fucking
you didn't see
clip of
that? I thought I put it up
looks
there.
like the clip
That's
of that
it. Yeah.
poor fucking flat Earth guy.
This picture's from our trusty old CBC, so you know it's legit.
Yeah.
It's fucking Super Dave right
CBC, eh?
there.
CBC always getting your news to you on time and unbiased.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you look at that one, if you look at
Dude,
that photo,
It looks like a missile. Like that's I would if like as a person looking, I'm like that looks like an object with clearly shooting a flame as some sort of propulsion out the back.
Yep.
Yeah.
well, I don't know. I don't know. If you look at that one, it could be just a contrail, which doesn't necessarily have to be produced by like the jet itself. It could be perhaps some sort of object just moving through the air and generating heat in some way and just
No.
leading condensation in the air.
Dan, you've obviously not seen October Sky. That's a fucking rocket.
Well, okay. Here's my thing. I just got to quickly fact check here before I say this. Where Harbor Mill is.
Millie.
We're in Newfoundland now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right there. The fucking Millie, right?
Okay, so it's on the absolute East Coast, right? And here's a weird thing. So right away, the RCMP make a statement, say that, hey, don't worry about it. Like everyone, stop panicking. It's just a missile launch. And then everyone's like, what the fuck you mean missile launch, eh? What do you mean missiles? We got missiles? And then the prime minister at the time had to make a statement being like, listen, these weren't missiles. It was UFOs. Like, not missiles.
So it was
Which
definitely
go-
a missile then.
Which goes back into my theory that our black budget, we just have a secretly awesome secret military.
So you saying that
Because-
was it Stephen Harper 2010? Must have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Harper, yeah.
Yeah, even the guy from was it Sergeant Wayne Edgecombe? I guess RCMP or something like that. I guess was it the
Sergeant.
local police? Said that they had confirmed it was something, but they couldn't reveal what it was.
We found
They just-
we found something there, buddy, but
Oh,
yeah,
it
we
was
can't really tell
something.
you what it is.
Well, we're not gonna tell you.
Well, they're fucking newfies, so they're probably, oh, okay, there, that's fine then. Yeah, that's good.
The other thing is, like, that's on the East Coast, right? So here's my theory. I'm out on the West Coast, absolute West Coast, and you go south of me, and there's a town called Nanaimo. And you go into Nanaimo, and as you drive in, there's like the welcome to Nanaimo signs or whatever. And as you pull off one of the side streets and get into the city limit, there's a small brown sign everywhere in Nanaimo when you're entering city limits, and it just says Nanaimo, a nuclear weapon free zone.
What?
Type it in. Type in Nanaimo nuclear weapon free zone sign, and it'll probably pop up. But they're everywhere, and you go. Every time I drive past one, I go, "What?"
Okay, this is super bizarre.
Dude,
but
came up.
So I fucking work with this guy. He's about like 62, 63. He was in the American military. He's from South Carolina. Came to Victoria for some type of fucking military thing, and has been here ever since. And he refuses to tell me exactly what he came here to do, but he swears to me that there's nuclear weapons on Vancouver Island.
Oh, dude,
swears to me.
I wouldn't be
Well, that's what I'm
surprised.
saying.
That's fucking crazy. I've never heard that before.
My town doesn't have a no nuclear weapons sign. So does that mean we have them? Like, I lived in Kelowna. There's no nuclear weapon signs. I'm like, that is an obvious sign where you would store nuclear weapons.
That's
dude.
fucking crazy.
Well, dude, because the NORAD agreement between Canada and the United States, I guarantee, like, they're not our nukes. America probably has installations with like intercontinental fucking nuclear missiles probably installed on Canadian soil, and they've never told anybody.
Because you guys don't need to know.
Well, I mean,
yeah, they just
some
put
of
up
us know,
signs
but
in city limits being like, no nuclear weapons here.
dude, this
No
is,
nukes here, eh?
here it is.
Go
Good enough for me.
somewhere else.
Just, I don't know if can you see it's a little bit small. Just like, welcome to Nanaimo, a nuclear weapons free zone. This is just a normal small Canadian city. Small Canadian city
That's
for some
so
reason.
bizarre.
And no other cities have
So that
shit.
means if your town does not have a sign that says no nuclear weapons, your town
But why would you need a
has
sign?
nuclear weapons.
Here's the thing, Dan. Us as Canadians are under the impression that we're a nuclear-free country,
Nope.
right? So I'm like,
Well, they're not our nukes.
You as Canada is a nuclear-free country, but the missile silos that the United States has installed in your country technically are not Canadian. They're
here's
American.
my other question. Do I have to assume that every single town and city that doesn't have one of
Yes.
those signs is
Yes.
carrying some
Yeah.
sort of ballistic
Mhm.
missile for the United States?
Oh yeah.
Which gets things really crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
If it
yeah.
doesn't have a
Just
sign,
the ones with the signs have the missiles.
if it doesn't have a sign that specifically says no nuclear missiles here, then you have to assume that they have nuclear missiles.
I'm gonna bring that up. I'm gonna go to a town meeting with the mayor. Well, probably not yet because we can't. But when all this closes down, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna say, "Hey, I was in Nanaimo and they have a no nuclear weapons free zone city within city limits. Do we have nukes or are we gonna put up some signs?"
And they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll think about it."
And I'll be like, "Oh, interesting. So where the nuke? Where them nukes?"
Where the nukes,
Where
eh?
them- Nuke's at.
Dude, you know the American government probably paid Canada a whole bunch of money just store them in. We'll give you
Okay, then
$1,000 American dollars, and we went.
listen.
that sounds
can we
pretty.
all
That sounds
agree
pretty
then
good.
that they're in Harbor Mill and Nanaimo? Type in Harbor Mill, no nuclear weapons
We'll
sign.
pay you in Twinkies and Dr.
If they have
Pepper.
a fucking sign, if you type that in and they have a no nuclear weapons sign, we've cracked this thing live on air. If you see a sign, they have them.
Oh, it doesn't pop up.
That'd be unreal. But definitely, like, that looks like a missile. And I guess it was sighted in Harbor Mills, so it could be somewhere else in the area that they're fired from. But to me, my brain right away looking at that picture goes to some sort of missile being fired. And the fact that the RCMP were like, it's a missile. And they were like, whoa, I mean, it's not a missile.
Canada has not officially maintained or possessed weapons of mass destruction since 1984.
Canada.
Officially.
So in 1984, they became American.
Yeah.
We're on to
And
something
all
here.
those.
That's
all
what
those
fucking
secrets are with
Brenda
the
Mines.
CIA.
Brenda Mines, buddy. Brenda
Yeah,
Mines.
dude,
Fucking
Brenda Mines is
nuclear
another one.
silo. Nuclear
It's
silo.
fucking close. We could go there.
They've renovated that shit
Yeah, they
too.
changed the
Yeah, they
gate.
have.
It's not
They
as
upgraded
sinister.
the fucking fences and shit. Probably because of this podcast.
Probably. We can talk about it.
Like someone's onto us. Build up the reinforcements. But that's like I said, this one, lot of witnesses. But the fact that you have the Mounties saying that, and then official report from the Prime Minister being like, "Oh, it's UFOs, not missiles." I'm like, I was like, what? And that was probably the most pro-American, pro-war Prime Minister we've ever had.
Yeah.
So
You mean the best prime minister?
yeah, we had so much.
So much America.
I was fucking pissing freedom back in 2010 everywhere. Now, thanks liberals for having me locked up in my house all the time.
Trudeau and the liberals bringing in coronavirus, fucking us all up here, trapping
Make
us
the
at home.
frogs gay.
Yeah, they're turning frogs gay, Joe.
First it was the frogs, then it was a coronavirus.
That was it. That's all we had for Canadian UFOs, though.
Yeah, Great Weird North.
Great weird north.
Weird North.
There's more.
why don't
people,
we-
but we'll get there.
Why don't we get us some space news? News
From space.
from space.
The news. Space.
I love this one. The NASA Mars lander just had to hit itself with a shovel to get unstuck.
I read that one. So
That's-
funny.
That's so good.
That's I had to like check it again. I'm like, huh? No, that's the headline.
That's the real thing.
Now I couldn't figure out. This isn't the one that went dead and was like everything's going dark.
Oh no, it's
No.
the other one.
The other one. It's the one that's still functioning already. Okay.
That was opportunity.
yeah.
Whatever. Yeah.
And they're just fucking smash your head with a shovel, and it worked.
It took them months of programming and simulations to actually figure out like
I
we
don't
need to
want
hit
to.
we
Don't
want
make
to
me
hit
do it.
this thing. We want to hit this thing. We want to make it hit itself with a shovel, but we have to do it in such a way that it will not damage all of the shit, all the sensors and all the communications equipment that is in that tiny drill. That it's not tiny. I assume it's actually pretty huge, but though it's like what is it? It's like it's drilling into the surface of Mars, and the Mars ground is like the Earth like clumps together more than they thought it would, so it wouldn't work. So the drill actually got all jacked up, and so they couldn't figure out how to get it to work, and they're like, "Fuck, we spent all this money and now the drill doesn't work." And then they figured the last resort was like, we need to make the fucking thing hit itself with
Club
shovel.
itself.
And they said it worked.
It says that engineers spent a few months practicing.
Yeah, months, like putting together simulations and everything, just running through simulations are like, this is the only thing we can think of is to fucking get it to hit it with a shovel. And this is why humans will never be replaced by robots.
So was it there for months stuck then? Is that what the deal was? And they had
Yeah.
and
Like, it wasn't doing its one of its jobs. So one of the jobs.
So you're telling me they sent a robot up there to dig a fucking hole, to drill a hole?
Well, yeah.
And
'cause
test.
Yeah,
they
that's
would
the
figure
first
out-
mistake. You should have got oil rig workers. Harry
Oh,
Stanton.
right,
yeah.
Called
We
up
got
job done.
Albertans out of work,
an Aerosmith.
and you're sending robots up there.
That
You fucking goddamn Harry Stamper.
that's a crying shame.
You got to get those Albertans working. They'll dig. They'll find that oil.
I could put together at least 24 Albertan oil teams to go out there and drill a couple holes.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's
There's probably a
when
few
you want to
listening
fix
right
something in
now.
outer space, hit it with a shovel.
Hit it with a shovel. That's best case. You just club
Yeah.
yourself, knock yourself free, and you're good to go. This takes 2 months of practicing.
All right, NASA says it's been working, so I mean, good for them. All right.
This was kind of a surprise to me when I read it. Mercury, which is the closest planet to the sun, even though it's just getting torched at all times, it still has ice.
Bananas.
The poles, I guess, are ice cold and actually form ice.
Right. Because Mercury doesn't actually rotate. Like, it doesn't actually rotate like the Earth. So there's pretty much one side
Like
is
total
always
tidal locked.
right. One side is always facing the sun, and the other side is like never facing the sun. So it's just
Ooh, that's weird. Maybe it's like the moon, where it's just some sort of solar, like, studier.
could be.
Well,
I
why,
don't know.
Sun base.
why does Mercury say that the
Moon base.
daytime temperatures are 430 Celsius, but nighttime is 180, or can plummet?
Well, I mean, there are parts on there that never touch, that never
see
face the
daylight?
sun.
Right.
Yeah. So those are the parts where they said that they actually detected ice before. Right. So maybe it does rotate, but very
So do you
slowly.
think there-
I think it
do you think there's,
rotates
like-
very slowly. I can't remember.
Either way.
Well, I was
yeah.
gonna say, do you think there's areas where if you like get closer to the equator, like it slowly warms up to maybe like a nice brisk like plus 20?
Sorry, it takes a Mercury about 59 Earth days to
Those guys
spin once on
super
its
slow
axis.
spin.
So, and then but it takes
Well,
88 Earth
rotisserie
days
planet.
to go around the sun.
So like one day is
Tumble
like
dry.
just like 65% of a revolution of.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's pretty nuts. So you're gonna have a lot. I think they called them. What was it? They called it in the article. They said that there's a certain. It's like permanent shadow or permanent. They have certain
PSRs.
areas.
PSRs,
that are-
permanently shadowed regions.
Right. So those regions, they've said that they have detected ice. That there's actual, like, water ice on the surface of the planet.
Yeah.
Right. And they said that the way, but what is interesting is they always kind of figured that ice was a product of comets like smashing into Mercury and just kind of leaving ice there because they don't have the time to melt. But they've also figured that there is another process which produces ice, and which is basically that the sun burns up the material that's on the planet, so the minerals and the metals that are on the planet end up like oxidizing, and then and just releasing all of the hydrogen and unbonded hydrogen and things like that, and they end up rebonding and recombining into water, into H2O, and then and then once the planet turns or something like that, they end up kind of the molecules end up, or the atoms kind of like end up floating off because Mercury doesn't have an atmosphere, and then once they hit those permanently shadowed regions, they just freeze and bloop,
Stuck
they're
there.
sitting there, and they're stuck there forever.
Right.
You
pretty
know, they mentioned that this is a kind of a way for scientists. Fuck, man, like sometimes I read these articles, I'm like, man, scientists get excited over like the stupidest shit, and they're like, oh, this is like another way that you could, possibly find water on planets that don't really have water. I'm like, yeah, but most of it's completely useless. Like, there's no way that like this would ever really come in handy. But the scientists get excited about it. But it's cool. But I'm like, this is not really practical in any way. Fucking weird. I don't know. Scientists get excited about weird shit.
The only other space news I got is we talked about 2019 not having a lot of auroras because we were in a solar minimum, which actually set the record for the least amount of sunspots, which was last year was 77% of the time, which was a space age record. So far, 2020, we've been without sunspots 76% of the time. So we're actually still chasing that record set by 2019. So basically, you can expect much of the same. Not a lot of auroras.
Auroras.
Auroras
low.
to the dismay of the scientists from CBC.
Yeah.
Bum, 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 bum. You won't be seeing any UFOs over at Montreal.
Yeah, He's so disappointed because he can't discount UFOs this year. That's all I had for space news.
Space news over.
Space news over.
Space news done. Did we want to do a randomatron? Did we got some stuff loaded in there in the database or what?
Let's do it next week.
Looks like randomatron is down for repairs.
Yeah, it's not working.
Not working?
No.
Let me try the button here. I'll double check. Nope. It's not going.
Not working.
Not
She's
working.
dead. We better charge her that.
We gotta update. We gotta update the randomatron.
Is the coronavirus can be transmitted digitally? Because
My God.
It's jumped from human to machine already.
My God.
it's now just a really annoying malware that gets in your browser.
We've been practicing social distancing, but not keyboard distancing, and all those grubby mitts just getting in there. If your keyboard's wired, your computer's at risk.
There it is.
Right? You got a wired mouse, just as bad.
Careful out there. We don't know the extent of the coronavirus yet. Nothing's safe. Digital, analog, anything, just locked down.
What else we got to do at the end of the? What do we normally do at these?
I don't know. It's been such a wild week and
We've
a
only
half.
been doing this 133 times.
We got a couple new Patreons.
Read them. I'll be right back. I'm gonna absolutely die if I don't go to the bathroom.
He's got to go to the bathroom. All right. With the event of the coronavirus, obviously patrons will slow, and we understand that. But there's a couple new ones this week, so we appreciate the support.
Brave souls.
Antal Uman, Dylan
That is a
Matthews,
super fake name.
Anton Ullman, Dylan Matthews, Adam Linton, and Chris Neville. That's all we got this week.
Chris Neville. Made up fantasy name.
A bunch of fake names putting their fake money into our accounts.
We have a theorite of the week.
I'm gonna give it to this guy Chris Kemmerly.
Chris Kemmerly.
This guy's an artist, and he's sent us a handful of designs now. The newest one being a mongoose file design, and it's fucking pretty.
Yeah,
dope,
if
so
you want to get on our good side, send us fan art.
send us some cool shit. This one's
Send
really
us
good.
fan art.
He's also sent a couple more, like a Boy Get My Gun and a Mars Attacks one, and some others. So
Mars Attacks is dope.
this guy Chris Kemmerly, the theorite.
Oh, that's the guy that made that
week.
fucking art. He's awesome.
Yeah, welcome
Yeah.
back. Yeah, that guy was a beauty.
Yeah, fucking.
Yeah,
wicked
stop
artist.
making mongoose art and make something good.
What? That was rad.
Now we have some reviews. I'm not sure what we read last week. Do you remember what we read?
Apparently we read ones that I read ones that had already been read. So whatever. So you guys could read the fucking ones.
There's some reviews. There's a whole bunch of new ones. I don't know what we've read. Let's read this one. This one's got to be new. Do you have it up, Braden? My podcast reviews?
Yeah, I got a couple up. Here's one. Just brilliant. 5-star review from Marat Mia. I think it's Marat Mia. I think it's a wine play. These guys are awesome. Love the show. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Thank you, Mia.
Thanks, Mia.
There's a long one too.
I like that. I had my eyes on that long one.
5-star review from B. Marcel. Exclamation mark. That's it. That's my review. But seriously, it doesn't take rocket appliances to know this is the best podcast out there. Aliens would likely even agree. My coworkers probably think I'm nuts from all the creepy giggling I do at my desk all day listening to these guys. May or may not have even snort laughed a time or two.
Happens.
God or any superior alien being, if you exist and are listening, I am so sorry how hard I laughed during the Elisa Lam episode and how I have been converted into a theorite. Please forgive me and or do not abduct me for the experimentation, especially probing. If you have no idea what this means and are intrigued, well, you damn well better hop on board the ATT spaceship and give this podcast a listen. You boys are my spirit animals. Would love to have a beer or 10 with you all sometime. Greetings from my couch in the times of the COVID lockdown in the capital, Ottawa. Cheers, Brit. P.S. Send beer. P.S. PPS. Send TP.
That's a fitting review.
That's a good review. Thanks, Brit.
Thank you very much.
Get a bum gun. You won't need TP.
Yeah.
Take it from the man himself.
Invest in the bidet.
Bidet or just a $12 bum gun's all you need.
Yeah.
Do we have a theory of the week?
You missed it. Chris
We already
Kemmerly.
did it.
Oh.
Chris Kemmerly, artist, did the Mongoose File.
Oh, yeah.
I think that it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. You got a song of the week?
No, I haven't really been looking. It's been a crazy week, so just like everyone else listening, it's been crazy for fucking everyone. Everyone
knows it's crazy.
It's fucking crazy.
Give us a 5-star review on iTunes. It really helps. You can, if you want to support the show, you can go on patreon.com/alientheorists theorizing. We got a lot of stuff on there now for supporters. Go to alientheoristheorizing.live. Go buy some merch. We're going to have some new merch soon, but get on there and go rep your local podcast t-shirts or sweatshirts or hats. We got stuff on there.
Independent. No one's local to us. No one listens from our hometown. Yeah, that's it. That's all we got. Our pledge is to we're just going to keep on keeping on as normal. I mean, we got the leg up on a lot of podcasts as we've been doing it remotely for years. So nothing really changes for us. So we're just keep on keeping on.
And as we always say at the end of these things, keep these on, guys.
Please.
I think I caught corona.
Yeah.